it's time for PSA to start releasing graders notes with grades. Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So I've become hobby online friends with somebody named TJ. He goes by TJ is Online on Instagram. Great collection, great guy, very smart, very thoughtful and intelligent about the way he approaches things. Not at all like a lot of people online, frankly. He reached out to me about a card he has. It is an 86 Fleer Michael Jordan. He bought it in a Beckett 8, BGS 8. And he had it. It was in his personal collection. And like a lot of times after a while, you kind of start thinking about liquidating some cards to get into something new. And so he was telling his friends he was going to sell his BGS 8 Jordan 86 Fleer to upgrade into something else. And his friends said, well, it's in a Beckett. You'd make at least 25% more if you were to crack it and send it to PSA. And so he started researching it a lot. He's not one to seek profit like a lot of people in the hobby are, and there's no criticism of that. He was very hesitant about this. He did a lot of research into it, and he knew that there was a print line on the back of his 8, and so he started looking into PSA 8s and 9s and 10s, and a lot of them have this print line, really interestingly. And I'll show some as an example, but the 86 Fleer set is really marred by print lines and print marks. In fact, I have a similar story here. That's my Ricky Henderson. So when I bought this Hakeem Olajuwon rookie, the seller said to me, he sold it to me for $40. And he said it's low grade because of this sun mark here. You can see it's kind of this rainbow. And I looked at it and I didn't care what it would grade. I just wanted it to put it into a SGC slab. But then I started looking at 10s and they had that mark. And I thought, what if the mark doesn't matter? It's because it's part of the manufacturing, I don't know. And so I knew it wasn't a 10, obviously, but it came back a 7. And the dealer was really surprised. And I said, yeah, just look at similar, the same card and see if any 10s or 9s or 8s have that mark. And then you know it's accepted. And so this is exactly what TJ did, very smartly, and found 8s and 9s and 10s with the same mark. So he sent it off he cracked it very, very carefully, no issues with the cracking, sent it off to PSA, and it came back a 6. And so my initial thought when he's telling me the story as well, and I always think this, is it possible? I like to think through possibilities of what could have dropped the grade. And now, the two companies have different standards, so that's part of it. But could he have made any damage when he was cracking it? And he assured me he didn't. Okay, that's fine. But when it came back a 6, he studied it over and over and over again. And he had studied it after cracking it too. And it looked really, really good. And I'll show you the pictures. I'll put the pictures up here of the edges and the corners and things like that. It looks really good. It's not a 10. It's not even a 9. But it looks like an 8. And he called up PSA. They won't give you grader's notes via email. They won't do it in writing. But some customer service reps will give you grader's notes. And he got a customer service rep who gave him a grader's notes. They told him that 3 different graders looked at it and they debated over the grade. And ultimately, because of that print mark, print line, they gave it a 6. Now, that to me is a problem because I'm going to show you. PSA 6 in their grading standards says there may be a printing defect which does not detract from overall appeal. This to me implies on the front of the card, because in the 8s and 9s, it talks about printing defect on reverse. But on the 6, it doesn't specify on reverse. So the 8 and 9 can have this print defect on reverse. So then you have to go back to 9s. Let's start with 9s, even though we're pretty sure this isn't a 9, that have the same line. I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 different PSA 9s that have the same exact line to varying degrees of obviousness on the back. I'm just going to cycle through them here pretty quickly. You can see them all. 9 of them, there are 8 of them that are all 9s. Here's an 8.5. Here's another 8.5. Here's a 10 with a Mike Baker authenticated gold sticker on it with the same line. Here's another 10 and another 10 with the same line. The BGS card, by the way, when he had it slabbed with BGS, the subgrades were centering 9, edges 9, corners 8.5, surface 7.5. So pretty good. And PSA seems to be saying, we'll give 10s to cards that have this print mark. But then they tell him that they gave it a 6 because of the print mark. So people come to me a lot with, my card got a 6 and I don't know why. And I'm not interested in those stories. I am far more interested in the stories where PSA gives them, or SGC or BGS gives them, a reason that makes no sense, that their own standards and own precedents fly in the face of. And this is one of those examples. And we should be able to get, when we get our cards, we should receive a note explaining why. I don't need subgrades. Subgrades would be nice, but here's why this got a 6. Because of the print mark on the back. And PSA makes it so difficult. I don't know how many times TJ had to call to get this, but most people, I don't think most people will get grader's notes. I've never gotten them before. I haven't submitted a lot to PSA, but let's talk about the difference in value, the difference in price of these cards. So a BGS 8, which is what this card originally was, $4,700 on average. That's pretty standard on eBay. And I took a screenshot here of the same exact card. It's selling twice in the same day for some reason. But I looked through, there are a lot recently that are around $4,600, $4,700. A PSA 8 goes for $6,200. So well above. It's like 30% difference. And his friends told him 25%. It is more than that. On average, PSA 8 goes for $6,200. PSA 6, which is what his graded, is $3,800. So the difference of $2,400. It's significant, and it's frustrating, not only for TJ, but for anybody who wants to trust PSA with their grades. And I'm going to get a lot of comments saying grading is a scam. This is why you shouldn't grade your cards. That's not the point of this. If we are going to have a reliable source of truth of grades, we need to be able to trust that if they're grading it because there's a print mark on the back, that they've graded the same exact card with the same exact print mark the same way. And in this case, they clearly haven't. Now, I reached out to a contact of mine at PSA who didn't respond, which it's not their job to. So this is a private contact. It's not like they have to. So I'm not mad at them. I wish they had. I wish I had more contacts at PSA. I'm going to post this video on Twitter and I'm going to tag Ryan Hoge. Is that how you pronounce it? I think it is. And Nat Turner. and see if they'll respond, because usually they're pretty good at that. I wonder if they're going to give the same reason, or if there will be a different one now than what TJ was told before. Anyway, go follow TJ on Instagram. He's got a killer collection. TJ is online. And I hope to update this. I will update you. If there's a big update, it'll be here on my video. Otherwise, it'll be in my newsletter at junkwaxhero.com. Remember, the giveaway ends on Monday. I'll be announcing the winner of this on Monday. I'm really excited. I have 650 subscribers. So, fun stuff. All right, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.